Rock 100.5 KATT. I am Cameron Buchholtz, Rocklahoma 2022, here with John from Skillet. What's going on, man?
What is up?
You know, just festin', I guess.
We're festin' with these cool microphone things.
Right, yeah. You feel like a sportscaster or whatever, and it's just how it works. It's, you'd say like maybe Garth Brooks a little bit, like the...
for sure.
Or,
yeah.
Or some sort of pop star with a,
But Garth did it.
Mm-hmm.
He makes it legit because he's cool.
I mean, is he?
Yeah, Garth Brooks?
All right.
Yeah.
I think in some ways Garth is so uncool that he's cool. It almost comes back around in a certain way. Like those shirts with the giant block pattern or whatever is very... they just seem very starchy.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that's true. But man, he wrote some massive
absolutely.
ones. Yeah.
And we're on his home turf right now, so it's,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What a great performer too. So there you go. I'm giving Garth Brooks advertisement because I'm so much bigger than him.
Oh sure, yeah.
People are like, John, will you please advertise for Garth? Sure.
Yeah, and then I'm sure he's gonna post on Instagram or whatever. Thank God for Skillet for helping me out.
He is.
Helping me pick myself up my bootstraps and
my cowboy bootstraps.
Yeah, exactly. But now this is what, third, fourth Rocklahoma for you guys?
I think it's third.
Okay.
But it may be fourth. I was saying I definitely remember 2 other times.
Yeah. And then the other time, who knows? It's Rocklahoma.
We were opening for Garth Brooks at that time.
Right, exactly.
So it doesn't count.
Well, the Country Fest is at these grounds next weekend. So
nice.
There you go. But now, you guys do a ton of these rock fests every summer.
Yeah.
And is there anything about this one that sticks out in your minds other than just it being in a big cow pasture?
Well, I mean, I love festivals, so I got to be honest. Like, I'm a sucker for it. I love all things summer.
Okay.
Summer to me is rock and roll, fairs, corn dogs, monster trucks, NASCAR. It's just that's what summer is.
That's the Tennessee in you.
That is the Tennessee in me. We call that the redneck coming out, baby.
Sure.
I love it. So summer festivals is money. I love Rocklahoma. Probably the thing that sticks out to me the most is that we played with some classic artists here, like White Snake, Def Leppard, and like classic.
Today you're going on a little bit after Quiet Riot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really cool, So that's kind of what I always remember about it, and how hot it is.
Sure, yeah.
But I like how hot it is. It's summer.
Yeah, exactly. So you were just on board with all that. So.
I just said how much I loved it, didn't I?
Yeah, man. But so Dominion is not only the new Jurassic Park movie, but it's also the new Skillet record.
Once again, Jurassic Park is thanking Skillet for using the name of their thing, just like Garth Brooks is.
Mm-hmm. It was they decided they would take the advertising on the Lay's potato chip bags.
That's right.
Coca-Cola, and they would let you guys just have your album.
Yeah, I'm not a sellout. I will not take billions of dollars from Coca-Cola.
Right. Yeah.
Skillet
doesn't need your money, Frito-Lay.
Oh man, I'd kill for that money. Anyway, when we named the record Dominion, I remember the first time I saw the ad, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then of course I'm like, they need to use my song, but of course they're not going to use my song. But yes, Dominion is the name of our new record.
Indeed, man, and it's maybe a little bit heavier, at least than Victorious. I feel like it's was that a purposeful thing, or was that just kind of?
It's funny sometimes when you start making art, it just depends. Sometimes it comes out of you and you go, oh, that was kind of interesting, and then maybe you tweak it, maybe you don't. This one was definitely like the songs just came out heavy, I think it was this pent-up aggression, pent up from a couple of years, and I wanted to make a record that was inspiring, telling people like, hey, I know life has been really hard, but you don't need to give in to the negativity. Don't give in to the worst side of this. You have some control over how you handle this in your mind, right? Yeah. You can't control the world, but you can control your inner, health, if you will. Man, I had friends that did not do well. I have a friend that was clean and sober for a decade, fell back into alcohol abuse. I felt so bad for him. I have another friend whose kid, tried to kill herself. This was a thing going on. I want to make a record that was saying, dude, don't give up. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that excitement ended up coming out sounding really heavier.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And when putting it together, were you guys doing it like over Zoom, like everything was at that point?
It was weird. Yeah, at first I was like, that's going to be really strange. But then it kind of worked. And so at my studio, my wife Corey, who plays guitar for Skillet, she's a producer. So she would produce tracks, we would record, and then we would just send them out
to Vegas to
Vegas to the Churcos who were producing. They they do stuff, they send it back, and it actually ended up being kind of cool. I mean, if I could be honest, some of it was because I'm a control freak in the studio.
Oh yeah.
And if somebody's trying something I don't like, I'm like, I hate that. That doesn't sound like us. That's not. And I wasn't there to always do it.
Right. Yeah.
And I'd hear somebody say, that doesn't sound like me. I'll live with it for a little while. And after about a day, I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. It's kind of weird.
There you go.
It's added a new flavor for Skillet. And after 10 records, why not have a new flavor?
Sure. And it must have been kind of weird working with Kevin Churko and not hanging out at the bootlegger all the time.
Yeah. It was weird. It was weird because I love Kevin and Kane, his son. We're all good friends. One of my favorite things about recording with them in the past is hanging out with them. They're geniuses, and Kevin Churko is a genius. For people who don't know, Kevin Churko produced all the Five Finger Death Punch records in this moment. Papa Roach, Disturbed.
Half of what's on rock radio right now is probably produced by it's constantly a battle between him and Howard Benson. I feel like who's got more songs in the top 10 right now or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny. Just a really smart, cool guy, but sort of a genius, I think. So that was the bummer, is not seeing him. But I do think it kind of I relinquished some control, which is hard for me to do.
Nice. Well, what's the rest of your year looking like? Because it's now that we're quote unquote back to normal.
Yeah.
It's just, are you just on the road basically?
We have been on the road like crazy. We actually were one of the first bands I think that came off tour. We did a drive-in tour.
Sure.
And then we went straight to doing our own club run last year. So we've been hitting it really hard. We just entered an Air Force tour. We go into Air Force bases. We play for airmen and their families. It was really an incredible, rewarding experience.
Was that just here in the States or was it international?
Only here in the States, but it was really fun. And I think that it meant a lot to people. From here, we are going to keep touring. We're taking a little time off coming up, which is nice. Next year is going to be another really busy year.
Yeah. It's just because Dominion came out January, right? So
that's right.
A little bit of time to gestate. Are you thinking of a next record yet, or are you just like, no, we're gonna just keep pushing this one?
We're working on a few songs to release on their own. That would be sort of like an addition because we released it still a little ahead of like the pandemic officially being over.
Sure, yeah.
And I wanted that because I wanted like January, new album, new year, brand new start. But I would like to tack on a few extra songs so it feels a little bit like hey, we're restarting, still doing something fresh.